So did the market just bottom? Let's get into it here with our daily SPX and SPY analysis. It is OPEX Friday, March 21st, 2025. Again, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Helps me out a lot. I appreciate it, guys. And come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. And don't forget to take advantage of the sale too. First month, 60% off active trader. It's pretty much a steal. Also 20% off swing trades. But let's get into the action here today. So the market stayed with a pretty good, at face value, a pretty good bear trap here. On the gap down, it was kind of on hot air. Again, you had the, Goolsby making some comments, but it was going to go down anyway. So they wanted to test 5,600, and that was clear as day, obviously, and that was a support area. A lot of puts sitting there, so it was pretty easy. We actually got in an SPXL pre-market and still holding a small runner on this one over the weekend, and in case they want to push this higher. But we got in at 140.98, and riding pretty good right now on that. I would have liked to. We got a pretty good squeeze into the close. We'll go over the positives right now. The positive is, first of all, volatility today on the back end was red pretty much, most of the day, and VVIX was red for a good chunk of the day. The volatility this morning was all on the front end of the curve. You see VIX futures still flat, and like the ETNs here, like VIXY and UVXY, were just flat or flat to positive. What does that mean? It means the volatility is, all the volatility was for like today, right? So it's not projected out, and that makes sense, right? We know it's options X, so they pushed it down here. I mean, just look at the futures, like, it doesn't get much more obvious, right? Like they wanted it down there, boom, it went there, and that's when it stopped selling. That said, we did bounce back to 565 essentially, which is where we closed yesterday. That's been a magnet all week long. You can see the Tuesday right there, which is the Monday rally through, boom, Tuesday, couldn't get through, right? Gapped through it, and we went back. So we did close green for the week on SPY. By the way, it looks like SPY is down more than it is. They paid a dividend, so don't forget about that. SPX is actually, that's the actual candle to go off of. And they did manage to close it green for a week. There's a lot of ado being made about this. If we close, because we haven't closed with 5 red since 2022, and I guess we just didn't as of per the close today. But I mean, who cares if it closes down another 10 cents, if it was red or not. And nonetheless, it was green, and we closed above the 50-day moving average on the SPX. So that was reclaimed. I would have liked it better, though. And you can see here, before I get into the other part, the other bull, case here is the Qs led. The Qs led all day. And we gapped down, and they quickly became down less than the spiders very fast. And this is what we've been missing, right? The Qs need to lead, right? It's been a tech-led sell-off, right? Look at QQQ. What's the top performing sector of the year? Energy, right? After that, it's healthcare, right? That makes up the tech makes up the market here. XLK is the second worst next to XLY. You want tech to catch up. That's where the bull action is going to come from. That's where the leadership comes from. And we saw that today, especially in the end of the day. We had these big pumps here on Apple, Tesla, NVIDIA, obviously the triple Qs. But look at Microsoft, huge bid. Google, Broadcom. It was very targeted at the end of the day. So that's the positive. The negative is that a lot of this is noise, right? It's OPEX. And despite the Qs closing green for the week, barely, I would have liked it a lot better if we got above 56.75. I know it's only 6-7 points, but I would have liked the weekly close above that, because that was the previous all-time high. So you do have kind of two situations here. You have the down move, and then you have kind of like, almost a bear flag look. But inside of that, you have a tight upright angle that's kind of like a bull flag. So you have the inside bull right there, inside of the bear. So which is going to win out? All right, same thing on the Qs, the inside bar. That's why I said we got to close above that inside bar to negate it so the markets can go higher. Now, you might say, oh, this is just noise that is just designed to get bulls trapped. Maybe, I'm not saying it can't be, but They'd also could be front running all of this negative gamma rolling off. So again, pay attention to these expiries, right? It's not a, I promise you guys, it's not a coincidence that the sell-off started the day of Feb expiration and stopped as soon as we got to the JPM collar and then went sideways. It's not a coincidence. Like, believe me, it's not a coincidence. We stopped selling a week before March OPEX. Now, that collar will still be active until the 31st, but a lot of this other negative single stock gamma is now gone. And what was the correction? What did we just talk about? It was in tech. It was in consumer discretionary. So if those things can catch a bid, bulls can build more of relief here. But again, none of that matters until, I could talk to our blue in the face about indicators and all that other stuff. We got to get above 570. So that's, keep saying it because that's what matters. Otherwise, we're just in noise land here. And at this point, if they do roll us down and it is bear trap, I still think 540, 545 is a very good area. But that's really the long and short of it right now. So, good bear trap. I mean, maybe this got it started. I mean, it's a good bear trap. I mean, it was not looking good this morning. It was not very good. It just looked like it was going to be a 560 pin. We did see some interest gaining at 480 early, and we called that out in the trading room. And, we got there and we closed above it. So it's positive. But, again, bulls got a lot more to do here. You got to prove it. You got to actually have follow through. You do have a higher low to work off of. One other thing that could be seen as a positive here too is dollar yen was strong really all day after the initial flush in the morning, and that closed at the highs of the day. And watching this on the 4-hour here, an inverse head and shoulder that hasn't triggered yet, but if it does, we'd be looking at probably we could take you back up and, well, actually, let's just measure it now. I just hypothetically about like that. So I'll take you up back to like 154. Where would that take the SPY? Probably to 580, right? So, that's where everything's going to line up here. I'll take you right there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. The Qs here, again, carving out a small gain. If these can get going, they can back test 5. We're going to back test 5 at some point. So I know everybody thinks that the highs for the rest of our lives are in, but I don't think they are. But anyway, IWM down 1.27. You can see the underperformance here, and the Dow, same thing. Managed to scratch a gain out, but not as strong as the Qs. I don't care. I want to see the Qs leading if I'm bullish. So that's something we haven't seen. SMH here, still kind of weak, down 1%. What was strong though was the other Mag 7 names, Tesla. They're calling it the tampon Tim bottom. Maybe still got to clear 253.37, but it held here. That's 2 weeks in a row with nice tails. So I like that. I like that weekly chart there. But the other sector that has been strong is IGV. So that's been green, really all week. And it's trying to base beneath this 200 for a move above that. If you can gap above these moving averages Monday, that would be something I would not want to get in front of. And same thing goes for the spiders. If by chance something happens where we gap above that 220, I would get out of the way. Because that's a very powerful signal. Anyway, Dow transports here down 20 basis points, but very good move off those on FedEx. I called this 220 level out this morning. I didn't take it because it was OPEX, but it would have been an absolute monster. I didn't think we were going to bounce that much off the lows. And it's options X, so they just had earnings. You never know how it's going to play out, but that level was really good. So transports, I like how it swept the low today too, and then basically closed flat. I think that should bode well for a relief up to maybe 15.2. So that's a positive there. 2-year yield was down a little bit. Again, long end remaining firm. So that squeeze was very short-lived, and the long end is probably going up to 4.8 on the 30s. So TLT can't catch a break, and it's just been weak. XHB holding support here by the weekly close. We'll leave it at that. That's pretty much all it's got going for it. VNQ's held up pretty well too. It was down today, but still holding the inside bar. And, you know, honestly, I don't care if VNQ crashes if tech is holding up. XLF down 18 cents. But again, financials have been strong here. JPM came nicely off the lows and actually closed green. KRE closing flat as well, down 3 cents. So fins are still holding up, and again, that's not a terrible sign for bulls. But yeah, you got to get tech to catch up. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Broker dealers down 21 basis points. Oil holding up well, again up 21 cents, and again we cleared that red bar, so that is clear to go to 70 and maybe 72. It's just waiting for a catalyst. There's a lot of shorts in this. XLE, the best performing sector in the market this year, and no problems here. If tech does bounce, this may back off. And what else may back off is XLV, XLU, XLP. But XLE been strong this year, and I think that can continue up for the most part into the summer. XOP didn't follow through here. I mean, there's a lot of resistance up mid. Like, look at this. That's a lot. So it's going to take a while to get through that. OIH also failed to reclaim the weekly low. Actually, no, it didn't. Well, yeah, so it closed back above on the weekly. I'd prefer to see it above 260 though, on the weekly close, or at least like 262 even. Maybe, I mean, heck, maybe even 270 for that matter. But, you know, it bounced. We'll leave it at that. CCJ bounced this week too, down 32 cents today. Still got to clear 47. URNM 37, and then URNJ's got to get 17, and then it can try to clear 18. You know, Nuke here held the 200, and it's come off of that. It's got a lot of resistance at 44 though. So nat gas here down a penny. Still working on a bear inside bar, but again, trend is up still. So this could consolidate on the weekly. And if it does that, it can go higher. But it has topped out for now. Dollar continuing. Call the market, please, because the dollar had 3 consecutive up days. And this is another thing I've been watching here and talking about. That's 3 days in a row the dollar's up. But watch these other markets here, right? DAX coming down off the highs, CAC down off the highs, UK 100, you know, the FTSE, HK looking a little top heavy here. Right, Euro down and yen down. If that becomes a trend, it's going to be a tailwind for Mag 7. By the way, valuations on the Mag 7 have actually come back in line here a little bit. I know it's hard to believe, but yeah, it's kind of like right in the middle of the pack. Now we're starting to see Europe get really high. So that chases, and HSI too. So that chase is definitely a chase at this point. So a little extended move on some of these, you know, China plays. I think NEO got smoked today here too. So anyway, oil, energy, where did we go? Dollar, gold, yeah, there we go. Gold sold off today. Still held the back test of 3K. I still think this can have one more inch up, but it's getting top heavy. I'll say that. No sell signal yet though. Same thing on silver. This should have one more push higher. Platinum and palladium I have no interest in right now. Absolutely none. Palladium does look a little bit better, but again, I don't even like it right now. And then copper here just is continuing to be a freight train. So down today, but barely. Bitcoin with more of a pedestrian move. This was really sideways all day. This is also pinned, you know, to OPEX too. So don't think that this is independent of that. This is fully integrated in the financial system now. And IBIT trades a lot of open interest. So it's part of it now. Yeah, got to clear this area here. Hasn't really been able to follow through off of that. So see what happens over the weekend. 91.5 to 92 is still a big level up there for Bitcoin. Let's see what we got here. Anything in the after hours? Yeah, right into that resistance there on ES. I would have liked to close above 56.75, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, like I've been saying this for a while, that I think risk reward here is still to the upside in the near term, but it doesn't matter until we get above that 570 area on SPY. Now it's probably a little bit that, it's a little bit different now. We'll go off this trend line because we have the dividend there, but either way, you guys get the idea there. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will see you guys all next week.